Welcome back to another one, guys. Just want to quickly talk about Spider-Man. What is going on with Spider-Man? Oh my God, the drama. Spider-Man 2 just came out. Spider-Man Far From Home, which was a huge success. I love the movie. Linda and I loved it. Made over $1 billion. And I was like, they are doing such a great job with Spider-Man. What could go wrong? I couldn't wait for the third one in this series. But now there's all this kind of drama between Disney and Sony because Sony officially owns the rights to Spider-Man, in case you didn't know this. In the 90s, Marvel was struggling financially. They sold out a lot of the rights to some of their main characters to different companies like Fox and Sony. And Sony has been making Spider-Man movies since, cashing in on that investment, making tons of money. Now, the previous Spider-Man movies weren't as well received. The Sam Raimi movies were great, except for the third one, which was pretty bad. And then the Amazing Spider-Man movies didn't do so well until they got Marvel involved. And they came up with this deal that, Marvel was allowed to use Spider-Man in the MCU. Well, now Disney wants a little bit more money and they want a more fair deal because it turns out Marvel has been investing a lot of resource into making these Spider-Man movies, and they want a little bit more return on their investment, which is understandable. Now, I've heard conflicting reports that Disney from the Spider-Man movies was only making like 5% of the profits, something crazy like that, excuse me. And then Disney, of course, wanted a little bit more money because it's not just Kevin Feige that's helping produce this. It's also the art department, the set decoration, all that other stuff, all these other resources that Marvel has at their disposal to make sure the characters are good. I remember watching this behind the scenes of how they were creating the costume for Mysterio in the last Spider-Man. And the Marvel team was really involved in making sure that Mysterio was really as accurate as possible from the comics and that everything made sense. A modernized version of Mysterio, while also making him look cool and also making him look like he fit the story, his backstory. So all these little details that go on is what's made these new Spider-Man movies so good. Now, Sony's getting greedy. I mean, they want to keep the original deal that they had with Disney, but I understand how Disney would want more money since they're investing so many resources and time into these Spider-Man movies. So I think, in my opinion, Sony needs to budge. Sony needs to be like, all right, let's give the fans what they want. This team up between Sony and Marvel has been working out, especially in his last two movies, and especially incorporating Spider-Man into the other MCU movies like Civil War, Infinity War Part 2. He's been a great addition. I can't even think of these movies, like let's say Infinity Wars, without Spider-Man. It just wouldn't have been the same. He was such a great addition to the movies. So they really need to work something out. Sony needs to realize that without Marvel, these movies are not going to be the same. I think they got carried away with Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, that it was such a huge success, and I got to give it to them. It was a great movie, but they got to understand that that wasn't a live action movie. That was an animation, and they did a great job. Now, they don't have that same track record with Spider-Man movies, like real live action movies alone. Their track record has been a little bit spotty, but by far, I think the best Spider-Man movies so far has been the ones where they collaborated with Marvel in the MCU. So they got to figure this out. Listen, Sony, stop being greedy. Give Disney what they need. Give the fans what they need. Put your pride aside and make sure these movies are good and that they're done with the help of Marvel and the MCU, because otherwise I don't think these movies are going to be the same. I'm not as excited for the Spider-Man movies anymore if Marvel is not involved. So I think fans need a boycott. If Sony doesn't make this deal happen, if they don't come to an agreement, I think fans should boycott the next Spider-Man movie because I really don't like this at all. All right, they need to get it together. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.